Alright, shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakudash, double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone who are well and taught us his truth. Salutations unto the sincere Akim out there pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, man. Yahbashim Yashai Barakatam. Now, this is from the BBC, and it says thousands attend solstice sunrise at Stonehenge. Now, Stonehenge is a place over here in the UK. You know, brothers have gone there before and that. And pretty much, you can do shows on Stonehenge. And, like I said, brothers have done shows and even been there and things of that nature. But on the left-hand side, you got a lot of witches that's like a meeting up hub point for them. And, a lot of warlocks and witches attend and do rituals and stuff like that on the left hand side. Right now, it says thousands attend solstice sunrise at Stonehenge. It says about 25,000 people have celebrated the summer solstice at Stonehenge. The event is one of few occasions people can walk next to the stones at the ancient site near Salisbury in Wiltshire. It comes on what could be the UK's hottest day of the year so far, with temperatures predicted to peak at 34 degrees. And it says Stonehenge operator manager Julia told the BBC it had been a peaceful event with an amazing atmosphere. This is a photo here or video, but I ain't gonna play it. People going out there to watch the sunrise. There's more. These are the kind of candidates that go there and do that stuff. That just lets you all you need to know. Let you know all you need to know about all you need to know, really. I mean, look at that, come on. Playing that flute recorder, come on, man. So pretty much, you could just, they're having a nice time. No, these are people that they're in the know, they know what they're doing. Some don't know the full extent of it, some are further in than others, but pretty much it's a gathering point for these people, man. It's a gathering point straight up. It's a gathering point, man. And like I said, witches and warlocks go there. Now let's get into it says, what is the summer solstice? It says, the summer solstice or estival solstice occurs when one of Earth's poles, has its maximum tilt toward the sun. It happens twice yearly, once in each hemisphere. Okay. During the northern hemisphere, summer solstice, the upper half of the earth is tilted towards the sun, creating the longest day and shortest night of the year. Right, now, this is from another website, Spiritual Gangster. Alright. Now, look at that. Some symbology there, look at that, man. And this goes into it, the spiritual side of it. The summer solstice honoring the light within. You got pyramids, the sun, other heavenly bodies and that represented there. So this is some witchcraft, man. It says the summer solstice is upon us, reminding us to celebrate the nourishing light of the sun and the light within each of us. During the summer solstice, the sun reaches highest point in the sky and gives us our longest day of the year. The point marks the second phase of Earth's journey around the sun, which, by the way, that's not correct. I'm not going to go to it right now, but the scriptures actually tell us it's the heavenly bodies that go around the Earth, So that's just wrong. But anyways, energetically, it is very parallel to the first quarter moon, which signifies a time to nourish seeds planted in the first phase. It says the great pyramids of Egypt also align with the four phases of the sun, showing the importance of these times for civilizations across the globe. So pretty much it's all goes back to Egyptian, paganism, you know, even, you go further into it, some Babylonian shit in there as well, man. Now, we're not meant to worship the earth and that, or creation. We're meant to worship the creator, the Most High, first of all. Okay, that's just one point. And, in fact, let's get that. Look at this, yeah. Are you serious, man? Alright. Alright, this is it. Psalms 24. Alright, it says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Alright, so the earth is the Lord's, man. So, if, you gotta honor the creator, man. You gotta honor the creator, worship the creator, not the creation. Okay, the earth is the Lord's, man. But again, these people, they be doing sun worship and that, which goes back to Egypt and things of that nature, man, which is just, it's crazy, man. And like I said, Stonehenge is one of those places where these witches, they go there, and they draw off the energy, and do kind of witch gatherings and things, and they'll wait till the dark, man. They do that in London as well. And I remember one time, some of the alchemy was at a particular spot, and we'd actually run into some people, and they were witches and warlocks, and they would go into a particular area where they have gatherings at night time, man. So it's crazy out there, man. These people, they'll go to the office on Monday, suited and booted up, suit and tie, high heels on, acting like it's all cool, tapping away at that computer, and you just think they're living a normal life. A lot of these Edomites are into, witchcraft, man. Now we know that. You talk about expose the elites. I'm talking about your average everyday person, man. I've since moved, roles, but I used to work in a particular role whereby I'd be in people's houses a lot, man. And at first it was surprising, but a lot of average day Becky, Karen, Susan Edomites, young and old, but more so the younger ones, they got all kind of talismans and and gemstones and stuff. Now, nothing wrong with the gemstones, but you know what they're using it, what side they're using it on? They're using it on the left-hand side, man. So a lot of these average day Edomites, they're into that, man. You got 25,000 people go there, man. So that's crazy, man. And again, the scriptures say the earth is the Lord's. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, man. So you want to be worshipping, the heavenly bodies, the sun and all that. That's paganism, man. Sun worship. Again, that goes back to Babylon, the fish god Dagon and all that. Worshipping the sun, which is heavily incorporated in Roman Catholicism, So this is just a quick show on this, but you know, you got, 25,000 people tapping in on the left hand side up at down at Stonehenge, man. Stonehenge. Stonehenge. Amazing atmosphere. And this is a known location for witch and warlock gatherings, man. We use the purpose of we use the moon and that and the sun, but we use that for the measuring of times, man. Not to worship it and that. That's just going off, man. Right, look at this. Right, so this is Genesis 1:14, and it says, "And the power said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and for years." So you had the sun that rules by day, and then the moon that rules by night, along with the lesser lights, the stars. As it says in verse 16, "And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the sun, and lesser light to rule the night, the moon. He made the stars also." So that's their purpose, to provide light on the earth between day and night, distinction between the two, and for times and seasons. For times, to measure the days, you use the sun. Evening to evening, that's a day, right? And then for weeks and months, which would obviously go into years, you use the moon. So there you have it, man. Because each week, every 7 days, the moon changes its phase. 4 times you have a full cycle. 4 weeks. The word week actually means change. So that's the purpose of it. You look up to the heavens and you look at the sun. That's to tell the time. And, the moon to tell the days and the month. That's it. But you just go in there and standing and, drawing energy from the sun and, sun worship. And that's off, man. Anyways, with that, man, shalom.